Let me begin with something personal yet profoundly significant. Many men, at some point in their lives, find themselves quietly wondering what happened to the vitality they once took for granted. They recall mornings that began with a sense of energy and strength, and evenings filled with confidence and satisfaction. But over time, subtle changes start to creep in. The once reliable morning erections become rare. The physical connection that once felt effortless now requires effort, and moments of intimacy can be clouded by uncertainty or self-doubt. What's often left unspoken is that this struggle is far more common than most realize, and it isn't a reflection of one's masculinity or worth its biology, and more importantly, it's reversible. The human body, remarkable as it is, evolves with time. After the age of 50, certain physiological processes begin to shift. Testosterone levels, the key hormone driving male sexual health, gradually decline. Blood vessels lose their elasticity, impeding the flow that's essential for achieving and maintaining erections. Muscles in the pelvic floor weaken, reducing the mechanical support that sustains firmness. Add to that the cumulative effects of stress, poor sleep, diet, and a sedentary lifestyle, and the result is a perfect storm that quietly erodes performance. Yet the most dangerous myth that men have been led to believe is that this decline is inevitable, that it's simply the price of aging. It isn't. Aging is natural, but dysfunction is not destiny. At the heart of sexual performance lies circulation. An erection is, in essence, a hydraulic event, blood rushing through the arteries into the penile chambers, filling and expanding them until the veins compress and trap that blood in place. When this process is smooth, the result is firmness and control. When it's compromised, hesitation, softness, or loss of stamina follows. Over time, the vessels that supply this flow can become narrower and less responsive, largely due to reduced nitric oxide production, oxidative stress, and plaque buildup. Nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for signaling blood vessels to relax and expand, becomes increasingly scarce with age. Without enough of it, even if desire is present, the physical response falters. Fortunately, the body possesses remarkable capacity for repair, provided it receives the right inputs. One of the most effective natural ways to restore nitric oxide levels involves supporting the pathways that create it. Certain amino acids, particularly L-Citrulline, serve as precursors to nitric oxide. Unlike its more famous counterpart, L-Citrulline, citrulline bypasses the liver and converts more efficiently, producing greater and more sustained improvements in circulation. Research has shown that consistent supplementation of L-Citrulline can significantly enhance erection hardness and overall vascular function without the side effects associated with pharmaceutical options. This is not a quick fix. It's a gradual reconditioning of the vascular system. Over several weeks, nitric oxide levels rise, arteries regain flexibility, and blood flow begins to improve naturally. But blood flow alone isn't the entire equation. The hormonal component plays an equally critical role. Testosterone, often thought of simply as the hormone of desire, is in reality the conductor of a vast physiological orchestra. It influences muscle mass, bone density, energy, mood, and even cardiovascular health. As testosterone drops often by 1% each year, after 40, the effects ripple through nearly every system in the body. Low levels mean reduced nitric oxide synthesis, diminished libido, weaker erections, and emotional withdrawal. The tragedy is that countless men assume these changes are permanent, unaware that natural restoration is possible through lifestyle and botanical interventions. Among the most promising of these natural approaches is the use of adaptogenic herbs, particularly ashwagandha, derived from ancient Ayurvedic tradition and now extensively studied in modern research. This root helps the body adapt to stress, balance cortisol, and support hormonal equilibrium. Chronic stress is a major testosterone killer. Elevated cortisol suppresses the body's ability to produce adequate amounts of testosterone and reduces its effectiveness in target tissues. Ashwagandha, when taken consistently, lowers cortisol levels, enhances sleep quality, and stimulates natural testosterone production. Clinical studies have documented increases of up to 15% in total testosterone and significant improvements in sperm count, vitality, and satisfaction. This isn't just about physical performance. It's about reclaiming the energy and confidence that low hormone levels silently steal away. The interplay between hormones, blood flow, and muscle tone determines the overall quality of male sexual function. Even with healthy circulation and optimal testosterone, weak pelvic muscles can limit endurance and control. The pelvic floor, a network of muscles supporting the bladder, rectum, and sexual organs, includes one especially vital muscle, the bulbocavenosus. This muscle is responsible for both drawing blood into the penis during arousal and maintaining it by compressing the veins that would otherwise allow it to drain. Like any other muscle, neglect weakens it. Sedentary habits, aging, and lack of targeted exercise cause it to lose tone and responsiveness. The solution is targeted strengthening through pelvic floor training, often referred to as Kegel exercises for men. These involve contracting the pelvic muscles, specifically the ones that halt the flow of urine, holding the contraction for a few seconds, and then releasing. When done consistently, this practice enhances muscle control, increases blood retention during arousal, and improves the force of ejaculation. Studies have demonstrated that within a few months of regular pelvic floor training, up to 3/4 of men experience significant improvement in erectile function. It's a simple, discrete exercise that can be performed anywhere, requiring no equipment, yet it can restore one of the most fundamental elements of male health. When these three pillars, circulation, hormones, and muscle mechanics, are addressed together, they form a powerful synergy. Enhanced blood flow supplies oxygen and nutrients. Elevated testosterone fuels desire and recovery, and strong pelvic muscles sustain the physical response. The result isn't merely better performance. It's a restoration of confidence, vitality, and intimacy. The body begins to function as it was meant to, naturally and harmoniously. Beyond these core interventions, lifestyle factors act as amplifiers or obstacles to success. Diet, for instance, exerts tremendous influence over vascular and hormonal health. Diets high in processed foods, refined sugars, and trans fats promote inflammation and damage the endothelium, the thin layer of cells lining blood vessels that produce nitric oxide. Conversely, diets rich in leafy greens, beets, pomegranates, fatty fish, nuts, and seeds provide the raw materials for nitric oxide synthesis and testosterone production. Incorporating sources of zinc, magnesium, and vitamin D further supports hormonal balance, while antioxidants from fruits and vegetables help prevent oxidative damage to blood vessels. Regular exercise also plays a crucial role. Aerobic activity such as walking, swimming, or cycling strengthens the cardiovascular system, ensuring steady circulation to all parts of the body. Resistance training, on the other hand, stimulates testosterone release and builds muscle mass, which in turn increases metabolic efficiency and energy. Even moderate physical activity several times a week can lead to noticeable improvements in stamina, arousal, and recovery. Movement, in essence, reawakens the systems that aging and inactivity gradually silence. Sleep, often overlooked, may be one of the most potent natural testosterone boosters. During deep stages of rest, the body releases growth hormone and testosterone in pulses, replenishing levels that fuel both energy and desire. Chronic sleep deprivation, however, blunts this process, leading to hormonal imbalance, fatigue, and low libido. Prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of high-quality sleep not only restores hormone rhythms but also improves vascular function and mental sharpness. Stress management is another pillar that can't be ignored. Psychological tension is one of the most underestimated causes of erectile dysfunction. Anxiety, whether from performance fears, work, or relationships, triggers a cascade of physiological responses: tightened blood vessels, elevated cortisol, and distracted mental focus, all of which sabotage sexual performance. Meditation, deep breathing, yoga, and mindfulness practices lower cortisol, increase parasympathetic activity, and restore calm confidence. When the mind relaxes, the body follows, allowing natural processes to unfold smoothly. One of the most empowering realizations for men struggling with performance decline is that improvement doesn't require radical transformation, it requires consistency. Small, deliberate actions, repeated daily, gradually rebuild the foundation of vitality. Taking L-Citrulline to support blood flow, ashwagandha to balance hormones, and performing pelvic exercises to strengthen control forms a simple yet profoundly effective plan. These natural interventions, coupled with healthy habits, deliver measurable results in as little as 8 to 12 weeks. But the journey toward restoration isn't purely physical. Emotional connection, self-image, and confidence are deeply intertwined with sexual performance. Men who feel anxious, ashamed, or resigned often unconsciously reinforce the very patterns that keep them stuck. Breaking this cycle starts with reframing the problem not as a sign of failure, but as a signal from the body asking for care and balance. The moment one views these changes as messages rather than misfortunes, empowerment begins. Many men discover that as they regain control of their physical function, they simultaneously rediscover joy in other areas of life. Renewed energy leads to greater engagement in relationships, hobbies, and self-expression. The ripple effect extends far beyond the bedroom. It touches every dimension of well-being. Confidence radiates through posture, speech, and decision-making. This transformation, while rooted in biology, ultimately becomes a statement of self-respect and commitment to living fully. It's important to note that natural restoration doesn't mean rejecting medical science. In fact, the approaches outlined here align with the physiological mechanisms that medications target, but without dependency or side effects. Pharmaceutical options can serve as temporary aids or diagnostic tools, but true healing requires addressing root causes: circulation, hormones, and muscle strength. Supporting the body's natural systems produces results that are sustainable, empowering, and reflective of genuine vitality rather than artificial stimulation. For men in their 60s or 70s who may believe it's too late, the science says otherwise. Blood vessels remain responsive, muscles remain trainable, and testosterone remains modifiable well into later life. The key lies in stimulation and nourishment. Just as the body adapts to neglect, it can also adapt to renewed attention and discipline. Within weeks, improvements in morning firmness, energy levels, and confidence become noticeable. Within months, many men experience a complete transformation in both performance and outlook. Erection strength is often seen purely as a sexual measure, but it's far more than that. It's a window into overall health. The same blood vessels that supply the penis also supply the heart and brain. When blood flow diminishes below the belt, it often signals similar issues elsewhere. By restoring circulation and hormonal balance, men not only improve their intimate lives but also reduce risks of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. What begins as an effort to regain sexual vitality ultimately becomes an investment in longevity. Every man's journey will look slightly different, but the principles remain universal. The body thrives when given the right signals: movement, nourishment, rest, and positive intention. These are the tools of regeneration, the quiet but powerful levers of change that nature designed. The challenge is not complexity, but commitment. Those who persevere consistently, even with modest daily habits, experience profound results. Imagine, for a moment, waking up again with that natural confidence you thought was gone, feeling energy flow through your body without hesitation or strain, experiencing closeness with your partner without fear of disappointment or failure. This isn't wishful thinking. It's physiology rediscovered. The human body is remarkably forgiving. It only asks that you meet it halfway. There will always be temptations to chase shortcuts or miracle cures, yet nothing replaces the stability of natural restoration. Pills may force a temporary reaction, but they do not teach the body to function on its own. In contrast, by rebuilding the biological pathways that govern arousal, strength, and endurance, men achieve results that endure long after the supplement bottle is empty. Ultimately, the journey toward restoring sexual performance is a journey back to self. It's about reclaiming control, vitality, and connection. It's about rejecting the notion that age defines ability and embracing the truth that growth and renewal are lifelong processes. The same body that once adapted to the demands of youth can adapt again to the wisdom of maturity. With patience, knowledge, and consistency, transformation is not only possible, it's inevitable. So, if you've noticed the signs: lower mornings, fading firmness, or a quiet loss of confidence, understand that they are not signs of the end, but invitations to begin again. Your body is not broken. It is simply waiting for the right attention. Support your circulation with the nutrients it needs. Feed your hormones with balance and rest. Strengthen the muscles that sustain you, and nurture the mindset that fuels resilience. Because in the end, true vitality isn't found in a pill or a promise. It's built, day by day, through awareness and action. It's the reward of choosing not to surrender to decline but to participate in your own renewal. Every heartbeat, every breath, every moment of focus is a reminder that you are capable of growth at any age. And when you take charge of your health, your strength, and your confidence, you rediscover what it means not just to live, but to thrive fully, powerfully, and without compromise.